Are you unknowingly resisting your own personal and spiritual growth? Sometimes it's not the world, your past, or your circumstances holding you back. It's your own stubbornness. You may think you're making progress, but if you're always holding on to what feels safe, familiar, or what is right, then you might be sabotaging your growth without even realizing it. In this video, we explore how stubbornness, that quiet resistance to change or new ideas, can block your growth. We'll unpack how clinging to control, old beliefs, or fear of change can block your progress. If you've been feeling stuck, this might be the perspective shift you need. Ready to move beyond what's holding you back? Watch now. Why would anyone deliberately refuse the chance to create a better, more fulfilling life, especially when it's within their power to do so? One common reason is good old-fashioned mule-headed stubbornness. A typical sign of this kind of stubbornness is resisting change or refusing to try something new just because. You might dig in your heels simply to prove that no one can tell you what to do. It becomes a silent declaration, I'm not changing for anyone, and that's final. This mindset may have served a purpose in your early life. As a child, it could have been a way to assert control or protect yourself in difficult or even threatening situations. But what worked as a survival strategy back then may now be holding you back, especially in the second half of life, when growth requires more openness and more flexibility. Otherwise, you might be reacting as if you're in danger when you're really not, by defaulting to an old defense system in a situation that actually calls for growth, not resistance. Stubbornness holds you back from living your best life. It grows out of refusing to integrate truth into your daily life. It's about being exposed to truth and willfully turning away from what you already know to be true. Now, this is the worst type of ignorance. Ignorance is not so much an action as it is a state of being. It may arise from a lack of knowledge, education, or awareness. Stubbornness is a deeper, more troubling kind of ignorance, one that's rooted in falsehoods being declared as right or true. However, real truth isn't hidden or exclusive. It's universal. It's innate wisdom. It lives within all people, all cultures, across time. Yet, instead of answering the call to awaken and grow personally and spiritually, many remain spiritually deaf. Truth gets drowned out by the shrieking voice of the demon of ignorance. The demon of ignorance and its henchman was introduced by Mary Magdalene in the Gospel of Mary. This is the third of four demons discussed in this manuscript. It includes all their names and their particular challenges that stand in your way to spiritual growth and a deeply fulfilling life. The Free Dictionary defines a demon as a persistently tormenting person, force, or a passion. Synonyms include devil, evil spirit, monster, or even genie. Watch the complete series and Why You're Spiritually Stuck, 4 Secret Reasons. It's all about the four demons and for background on the Gospel of Mary. Also, subscribe to follow the full series. The bad news is that these relentless dragons appear again and again throughout your life and your spiritual journey. As described in Part 1, Demon of Darkness versus Spiritual Growth, the dragon spreads its giant wings to engulf your path in darkness. In Part 2, Why Materialism is Blocking Your Spiritual Growth, is the fire-breathing demon of craving. This demon sets your soul ablaze with a desire to possess people, places, and things. And the remaining 2 dragons are just as dangerous. But beware, you cannot overcome them with physical tactics. not with force, cleverness, bribery, or even sheer willpower. And the good news? Although you are a human made from physical energies, just like the demons, you're also a spiritual being. This means you can hold a power that they just can't touch. That power is in your capacity to grow spiritually and to forge keys to the kingdom. It is these keys that unlock your true self. This episode focuses on the types of attacks by the demon of ignorance. Discover how this dragon and its cunning henchman distorts your inner path and learn essential spiritual keys you must forge if you're going to finally break free. Share your thoughts or breakthroughs in the comments below. As previously stated, stubbornness is the worst type of ignorance. It is the refusal of knowledge as demonstrated by an obstinate refusal to change or to try something new. One of the keys to overcoming stubbornness is developing greater flexibility. A very practical way to build physical flexibility is by stretching your muscles. Interestingly, this physical practice can also have a positive effect on your mental and emotional flexibility. It's a case of body influencing mind, so to speak. But stubbornness doesn't stop there. The ignorance dragon often manipulates you through pride. One of the most common forms of pride is the desire to save face. You may feel too embarrassed to admit that your previous views or actions were misguided, so you double down even when you know better. This kind of pride can be one of the hardest hurdles to overcome. Yet, when you really think about it, it's an absurd trade-off, choosing to preserve your pride instead of opening yourself up to the joy of a more fulfilling and meaningful life. A powerful antidote to this form of pride is adopting a new perspective. Growth doesn't mean you're giving in to others. It means you're choosing a new path that leads to something better. Shifting your mindset in this way helps dissolve the illusion that change equals defeat. Another key to overcoming pride and boosting flexibility is engaging in creative activities. Whether it's gardening, writing, music, or another form of expression, creativity helps you see familiar things in unfamiliar ways. And that shift in perception can unlock powerful insights. This opens the door to a third key, that of cooperation. The Oxford Dictionary defines cooperation as working together to the same end. Instead of wasting energy defending the crumbling fortress of pride, you can build stronger, more supportive relationships by working with others, not against them. Stubbornness also disguises itself in the form of excuses, what we might call the triplets of avoidance. These are, "It's not my fault," "I didn't ask for this," "It's always been done this way." These are childish cop-outs, ways of dodging responsibility for your own beliefs, actions, and growth. They keep you stuck and they keep you small. To overcome this dragon, the key of choice is accountability. This means taking ownership of your actions and their effects. Shifting the blame to others for things that go wrong in your life is like relying on a leaky lifeboat that will drown you in the end. Long term, this immature behavior will catch up with you, especially during midlife crisis. The next excuse for ignorance is the attitude of, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." This statement is a mix of laziness and complacency. Laziness influences your perspective of whether something is or is not broken. What is broken from one perspective is just fine from another. Once you conclude something is not working sufficiently, Then you have to decide, is it worth the effort to fix it or to find an alternative solution? Complacency causes you to take no beneficial action, even though you know the old way is not working too good anymore. One surprising key against laziness and complacency is the very thing those responses seek to avoid, and that is pain. Sometimes it takes pain from a major life crisis to shake you out of this state. And when the pain becomes bad enough, you're more likely to seek alternative ways of doing things and to fix what is broke. The path to spiritual growth and a more satisfying life is not blocked by external forces alone. It's often your own ignorance, pride, and stubbornness that stand in the way. These inner demons feed on old habits, outdated beliefs, and unexamined reactions. But you are able to overcome them with the keys to the kingdom by embracing perspective changes, cooperation with others, pain, flexibility, creativity, and above all, accountability. You begin to reclaim your power. You stop running from the truth and start living it fully, courageously, and consciously. Every step forward requires humility and a willingness to change, but the rewards are profound. A deeper connection to yourself, to others, and to the spiritual truth that's always been within you. This dragon may be loud, but your soul is louder if you're willing to listen. In the first video of this series, the demon of darkness spread its mighty wings to blind you from the truth. In the second video, why materialism is blocking your spiritual growth, the demon of craving casts a spell of spiritual amnesia, causing you to forget who you truly are, and then fills that void with a burning desire for material things. The last dragon that Mary Magdalene names is the demon of wrath and its henchmen. Feared more than any other by the ancients, this demon seeks to enslave your soul through reactive emotion and inner turmoil. You can explore how this powerful force blocks your spiritual progress in the next video, Spiritual Growth versus the Chains of Personal Slavery. If you're seeking deeper answers about how to live a more fulfilling life, or if you're simply curious about spiritual growth and how both impact your everyday experience, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss a new video. Classes are offered periodically, and you're invited to attend. Dates of classes are announced to subscribers by email only. Until next time, thank you for joining us at Life's Deepest Questions.